This is James from GameFront, and I'm gathered with Jens Andersen. He's the Senior Creative Director on DC Universe Online. Is that correct?
Yes.
He's so nice. He told me that I could do as many takes as I wanted, but I nailed it on the first try, but forgot to hit record, so I had to do it again anyhow.
This is the second, yes.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
no
that
problem.
second attempt. So, Andersen, I'm sorry, I shouldn't go by your last name.
It's
Jens.
all right, it's fine.
Jens.
It's fine.
I feel like we've known each other forever. We've been through 2 takes already.
I know, right? Deja vu. Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'm going to start with what I would say is perhaps the boring stuff and end with the things I'm most excited about.
All right.
So let's talk about the DLC that's coming forward. People are now going to have the option to purchase it as a giant package or little tiny pieces of it.
Well,
or actually, correct me, because maybe
Yeah.
it's not even available as a giant package.
Let me explain exactly how it works. So in the past, we would release these big chunks of DLC content. They would have some levels in them, like that you could play through, maybe a superpower or a weapon upgrade or something like that, or some Legends characters. And it was basically referred to as a DLC, and it all had tied themes together. So for our first one, Fight for the Light, we had a lot of Green Lantern content and instances, and you got light powers introduced into the game. And what we found was that we were really kind of constrained in terms of, like, we want to do this content with these characters, but that means we have to do a superpower like this. And really what the players want is a superpower like that, but that doesn't fit with the content we want to do. And boy, they really want this Legends character, but that doesn't fit with the superpower we're doing or this other thing. So everything became really kind of constrained in terms of delivering on what the players wanted and being more versatile and agile on meeting their requests and their needs. So what we decided to do was actually split up these DLCs. What we're going to do now is we don't even release them, all those component parts, on the same day. You'll see them actually more frequently divvied out over time, which is another great benefit too, because we would release those only 4 times a year, and now we're going to be releasing them on a much more regular basis. So players will have new things to play with and try out in the game much more often, and those things can be freed up from trying to be thematically tied to each other. So if the players want a certain Legends character, we just take that into account and we start building Legends characters like that. They want a certain superpower in the game, we can take that into account and start preparing to do that superpower without having to worry about, well, how are we going to work that into whatever story we're doing right now with the trilogies. So all those things will be divvied out. Now, the way it's going to work is if you're a member, you used to get all access to the DLCs as part of your membership, and you could just have everything as it was released. That's still the case here. So even though we're releasing things on a more regular basis throughout the year, each of the component parts, you get access to all of them as a member. If you are a free-to-play player and you're doing a la carte purchasing of DLCs and things like that, you can decide on as each one is released whether or not you want to purchase it individually or skip it all together. It'll be up to you.
Great. So, and that's why you can't have just picking up the giant package of it.
Exactly. Down the road we might do some, bundle offers later, but as of right now, that would be something that would happen way down the road. Like, hey, these 4 Legends characters together or something like that. But
and that's going to free you guys up creatively and budget-wise,
Exactly.
and not just budget money, but like time-wise, releasing something you're no longer hung up on everything in a web.
Yeah.
It's individual pieces.
That was another key component to this too, is let's say we had all of the content ready to go and we had the superpower ready to go, but that darn Legends character wasn't ready yet and it's tied to the DLC. We can't release the DLC until that's done. Something's gated in some way, whether it's tech or approval or just our own production process of getting it polished and ready to go and bug-free, and it holds the whole thing up. It's a logjam, and then the players are waiting for this content. They want it right now, and we can't release it until we get that little thing worked out. Now we can spend the time we want on each individual piece, make sure it's perfect just how we want it, and when it's ready, we release it. And then when the next one's ready, we release it, and they get it more often.
So does that mean that not only are we're definitely getting it more frequently now,
Sure.
Do you think that it's also going to allow you guys to put more content out?
Well, we've already been doing that and really pushing ourselves as far as we can to add more content in the game. Halls of Power Part 1 just released, and we had 3 raids and 4 pieces of 4 alerts. Well, mix of operations, raids, and alerts, but 2 pieces of 4-player content and 3 pieces of 8-player content. Probably our largest DLC that we've done in that regard because of the amount of large-scale instances we have in it. And we're going to continue to try and do as much as we can from the content standpoint. Would I say it's going to allow us to release more? Well, I don't know. We're already really trying to do that regardless of this decision to split up the DLCs. I do think it allows us to do more unique things on a more frequent basis, and that's the big advantage.
Cool. And speaking of legendary players or legendary characters, we're no longer going to be limited to our own characters in PvP Arena, correct?
Well, we have no, not quite. So PvP Arena is basically your own character in the arena doing PvP. We are doing a revamp for that, so players are going to see some neat changes there. But we also have PvP Legends, which is where you can play a legendary character in a PvP match. It's a simulation. You can step into the shoes of Batman or Joker or Superman or characters like that we have on the Legends roster. Prior to that, there was no way in the game to do any PvE content, right, player versus environment, as one of the legendary characters. You always played the PvE content as your character. Now, what we're going to do is we're adding Legends PvE events into the game, and it's basically going to be a cyclical thing where we add an instance in the game that's already in the game. Let's say League of Assassins Stronghold, which has Ra's al Ghul and the League of Assassins and Claws of the Demons in it, and players have been able to go through that as their own characters and progress and earn experience and gear and things like that. We're actually going to take that and convert it over into a Legends PvE event, and it'll be up in the event tab, and for a limited time you can run in there with one of the Legends characters that you have unlocked and team up with some friends. Maybe you're playing Batman, someone else is playing Nightwing, someone else is playing Robin, and someone else is playing Huntress, and you can go in as a foursome of the Bat family and try and take down Ra's al Ghul and the League of Assassins. And then that event will go away, and we'll put another event in there, which might actually be some Brainiac content, or maybe some piece of magic content involving Black Adam and Felix Faust, and you'll be able to jump in with Legends characters and play those. Any of the Legends characters you have unlocked, you can play in there. Potentially, unless there's a conflict, like where you can't be Batman and beat up Batman, right? So we either avoid that content or don't let you play Batman. We'll figure that out later. We're still planning this as we speak and working out some of the details, but it is coming to the game, and we're really excited about it because we have these Legends characters. We work really hard on putting them out, and about 26% of the people that play our game are involved in PvP. You know, that's 74% people that really have no use for the Legends characters that they need to unlock anyway to get feats in the game. We want to give them an opportunity to play them so that it's relevant to the larger portion of our community.
Awesome. And I don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'm coming down to what I'm most excited about.
Well, no take three then.
There's no take three. There's no take three. So you've announced that there was, I think it was 6 characters that were coming soon.
8.
8. Wow. You guys are bringing them all, aren't you?
I know. Well,
eventually.
We've confirmed Blue Lantern Kyle Rayner. He has a blue and a green ring, so he's like our first legend that has dual power rings on. We have done. We're doing Red Lantern Guy Gardner on the, again, dual power rings, red and a green one. After that, we're going to be doing a much requested, much beloved legend character, Green Arrow, come into the game. He'll be our first bow wielding character in Legends PvP and soon to be PvE. We also have Deathstroke coming after that. There's a hashtag out there called Deathstroke for Legends, hashtag Deathstroke for Legends. That's going to light up as soon as the keynote goes live and people realize they're actually getting Deathstroke very soon. After that, we're doing Flash, and then Shazam, Black Adam, and Gorilla Grodd. So a lot of really cool characters coming to the roster.
Fantastic. And finally, what I'm most excited about is the new character classes that we have. Could you go through those?
Superpowers, you
the
mean?
Superpowers.
Yes.
I'm sorry, character classes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking EverQuest.
They kind of do have classes embedded in them. Each of our superpowers allows you to play a damage role or to play in a specialized role, which offers a different kind of play, either as a tank or a controller or a healer. So we just announced that we're adding 3 new powers to the game. Our client engineers were amazing. Good job, guys. Woohoo! They found some memory on the PS3, so we're now able to add these to all platforms. We're going to be adding munitions, which is kind of based on Sergeant Rock. You know, it's your standard kind of like army guy, you know, men of valor, you know, pulling out rocket launchers and other kinds of conventional weapons. It's blow stuff up. It's run and gun explosive action going on. So think like action star kind of superhero that you can make, or villain if you want to now. And we're doing Atomic, which is going to be a healing power in the game. And it's going to deal with kind of getting down to the molecular level and regenerating people's tissue, doing all kinds of radiation mechanics, maybe some chain reaction stuff as well, which is fun. And lastly, and the one I'm most excited about, is a take on a physical power set, which we're we're calling experimental serums right now, which is kind of based on like characters like Bane or Hour Man or Elongated Man, who ingest things or take things into their body to actually make themselves more power and give themselves temporary abilities. And so you'll be able to activate different serums on your on your character and ingest them, and those serums will have certain effects. And maybe you'll do a lot of one serum, or you'll mix two together and actually create kind of a cocktail, and those things will interact with each other to get even different effects. So we're going to be doing some grappling there too, and investing in technology that will allow players to grapple with other players after using the experimental serum. So cool stuff going on that front with the superpowers.
I'm looking really forward to the grappling, and that is the character class I'm looking the most forward to. Jens, thank you so much for your time today.
Appreciate it.
And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Take care.